Okay, you go.
I'm here.
Clean the fridge.
Okay, start furniture area cleaning.
You missed the area right here. What in the world? Giant box in the middle of my entryway. How's it going, guys? Nathan here, and welcome back to my channel. This is Roadmasters, and today we have the new Ecovacs T10 OMNI. Yep, you may have seen my last video covering the X1 OMNI. Well, this is the newest model, and I'm excited to try this thing out. Alright, so I think Ecovacs has the title for the world's largest box. This thing weighs 1 million pounds. There's a lot of goodness in this box. We have the signature self-emptying, self-washing. There's a heating element that will drive the dual mopping pads of this robot vacuum. And this robot vacuum has the onboard Yuko voice assistant. So what that means is you can tell this robot vacuum to go to a specific room by your voice. Also tell it to clean certain furniture. So with the IVI 3.0 technology, you can avoid slippers, avoid those pesky shoes, avoid the dogs, the other children around, so they don't bump into your feet and try to suck them up. Kids, don't play with scissors. Scissors are dangerous. Get the little non-pointy ones because that's what I use. Oh my goodness, this is not working very well. The QR code kind of tells you how to set everything up right here, and the vacuum cleaner right there. Ugh. Looks like we have some mopping pads, pretty cool. Maybe you could sleep with these things on, who knows. The warranty card, you don't need that. Ecovacs are pretty strong robots. Here's the instruction manual. Don't worry guys, I'm an expert, so I usually just toss that right away. Alright, that's pretty long. What, about 4 feet? So if you have an outlet kind of up there, don't worry, you should have enough space. Sweet! What else do we have? A nice little cleaning brush. So with combination style brushes, you do have a little cutter to get all that hair off, and you can brush the dirt off to your robot. Okay, check out the robot itself. They always have nice packaging here, so good job Ecovacs. 3.0 technology. Looks like there's actual 2 cameras. So red to red and green to green. Just kind of snap in there, and they kind of spin around to mop. And this is a combination style extractor bar, which I'll show you in a second. You can see that, pretty nice. Nice protectors. I'm a professional here, phone. Plastic, which we should probably remove. Come over on top here. Wow, there's slots. Okay, so the first thing I do when testing a robot vacuum is the robot's ability to navigate a certain area. Now, most robot vacuums these days have no issues with that. They can create a map, they can effectively know where they're at and where they need to clean. But what makes it a little bit more challenging is when there's a lot of obstacles, and this is what this demonstrates. As you can see, the robot vacuum alternates its path. I was able to effectively clean around most of the obstacles. Now, smaller obstacles like that green dumbbell in the back, the robot vacuum kind of gently pushed it around, but it shouldn't cause any damage. So my recommendation, if you do have like pet bowls or like instruments, I do recommend using keep out zones so the robot vacuum will stay out of that area and not cause any damage. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a long video, but I am going to show you the pairing process next. Kind of show you what the Ecovacs app looks like. Most of these robot vacuums have very similar app design where they show a map, and then within that map you can edit the map to create rooms, zones, keep out zones. But there's a couple unique features that the T10 has, which I'll showcase in this video. All you have to do is pull the robot out, lift up the lid, and there should be a QR code right here. And the application does a pretty good job walking you through the process. So with my camera here, I'm going to scan the QR code. And then you just put in the Wi-Fi. Make sure it's on the same network as your phone and with the robot. And it usually is 2.4 gigahertz, not the 5 gigahertz network. Once we have the network put in, we'll just go and push next. And like I said, it'll walk you through the process. Make sure the switch is turned on. And you just press that button right there. I have switched the robot on, and we'll press the Wi-Fi reset button.
Ready for network setup.
Put the voice, yes. And we can put the lid back on. And within a few seconds, it will establish a connection. This works with Android or with iPhone.
Connected. Please go back to the app to continue the setup.
Now, we can just go and put the robot back in the docking station.
Start charging.
So what I like about Ecovacs app is it will walk you through the process. Also, it will advise you to start a quick mapping so you can get your map on the robot. The robot can store multiple maps. Alright, we'll just call it the DreameTech T10 OMNI for now. And yes, this is my language. Well, I think Ecovacs takes the title for the most impressive docking station to date. It has a hot air drying feature, has this cool little middle drawer here. Press the button, pops out. This is where you have your dust bag. Now, I like the fact that you got 3 touch controls. You can wash the mopping pad, you can play and pause your cleaning job, and you can tell the robot vacuum to go back to its docking station. Now, up top are pretty large water tanks. Here's your fresh water. You got your dirty water right here. And what I like is the fact you can house some additional mopping pads, your extendable cleaning brush, and some cleaning solution. Alright, so let's talk about the robot itself. It's very similar to the X1 series, has very similar specifications, but what my favorite part about the Ecovacs robot is the fact that it has an onboard camera right here. So I work a lot, I'm always out and about, so it's nice to be able to check up on the home. I can set some waypoints and have the robot check in those areas. Also, since there's 3 onboard microphones, I can interact with the family, the loved ones. And finally, there's an onboard voice assistant to kind of help with the daily tasks, tell it to clean a specific area or room, or even clean specific furniture. Now, let's go and demonstrate the onboard voice assistant called Yuko and show you what this thing can do. So just give me 1 second. Okay, Yuko.
I'm here.
Clean the fridge.
Okay, start furniture area cleaning.
Okay, Yuko. Clean this spot.
Okay, and the current task. Let me check where you are. Here's where for a while. I will start cleaning right away. Wait for me.
Okay, Yuko. In this area right here. Alright, so the T10 is very similar to the X1. Really not a lot has changed. Spec-wise, even performance is almost identical. Now, I would say the onboard voice assistant is very nice, especially if your hands tied or if you don't want to have to launch the app each time. Now, since it has onboard voice assistant, doesn't use a third-party app like Google or Alexa, it works pretty well. There was no glitches. I was able to speak directly to the robot and it initiated the commands fairly well. Just keep in mind, it may take some time to remember those commands. They're very specific. You really don't have much room for play. But once you got the commands down, it's pretty nice to be able to control the robot. Okay, you go.
I'm here.
Exit base station.
Exit from the station. Please keep the floor unobstructed.
Huh, okay. Well, I don't think my dog's gonna like her all getting sucked up, so I better take that out of there.
Back to station.
Okay, so I had no problems with the T10's clean performance. It did a pretty good job and it's quite powerful. It's not as loud as other competitors and its self-emptying system is also quieter, which is a nice plus. Now, I do like the dual side brushes. One thing to note is they do spin a little quickly in my taste, so I kind of wish they spun a little slower, but let's just see how much it picked up and we'll also check out the self-emptying performance and show you those results here in a second.
Exit from the station. Please keep the floor unobstructed. Switch to vacuum and mopping mode. Back to station. Start charging.
Alright, so here's a look at the mopping process. You can either mop and vacuum simultaneously, and if there's carpet, the robot vacuum will automatically avoid carpets when the mopping pads are installed. So make sure you remove the mopping pads if you do have to transition onto carpeting. Okay, so overall the mopping performance is pretty good, on par with most of these high-end vacuums. Keep in mind it's really designed for light mopping tasks, not really for heavy dirt and grime. Now, One thing to note is you do have to remove the mopping pads if you do want to transition onto carpets. I know a lot of these newer models do have the auto lift feature, but sometimes thicker carpet through a vacuum will drag the dirty mopping pad onto the carpet. So that's just something to keep in mind of. Okay, Eco. Stop.
Task ended. Switch to vacuum mode. Switch to vacuum and mopping mode.
Okay, Eco.
I'm here.
Return to charger.
Okay, back to station.
Alright, that's going to give you my final thoughts. So just check out this water tank here. Looks quite full. It's up to here. It's about halfway. I had 2 washes so far. Here's the dirty water tank. Let's check the mopping pads. I like to take them out of the robot because sometimes I'm vacuuming carpet. You do have to remove them. Take a look at the results there. And the hot air drying feature works pretty well. It does dry them off around 4 hours or so. Last thing, let's check the dust bag. So, do I recommend the T10? Well, if you're looking for a robot vacuum that literally does everything but the kitchen sink, I think the T10 is a good option. Keep in mind, I don't know exactly the pricing yet, but they said it's going to be a lot cheaper than the X1 series. So if it's under $1,000, I think this should be a pretty good buy. And it's going to be competitive to like the S8 Pro and also maybe the new roadblocks that are coming down the pipeline. There we go. Alright, so thanks so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day. Catch you guys next time. Stick around. I got a lot of cool robot vacuums coming down the pipeline that self-wash, self-emptying, you know, all that fun jazz. Alright, adios.